All right. Can you tell us about season 4?
No. Yes, sure. I'll tell you. I mean, the cool thing about Aiden's stuff is that it doesn't really require a lot of setup. It's stuff that's been set up in the previous season. You know, he's got this kid out there, Kenny, who's still alive. He has a girlfriend, a real human person girlfriend, but he happened to kill her ex-boyfriend. Oh, don't tell anyone. And then he's got this woman running around who looks a hell of a lot like his wife from colonial America, 1700s. So what the hell is that about? So I appreciate the climax of last season in a big way because it means I don't have a lot of plot work to do in the beginning of this season. I just get to have scenes. I don't have to do, we don't have to rush things to... we do set some things up in a pretty rapid fire pace this year, but certain things we don't really have to concern ourselves with because they're set up.
So what changes are we going to see with Aiden?
Well, at the end of season 3, he talked about having killed Kat's ex-boyfriend, and Sally said, "Well, you ought to learn how to live with that." Terrible advice. Bad advice. Don't ask the ghost what she thinks of the seriousness of death. She's not going to give you the right answer. So Aiden is going to be, again, as he always has, been straddling that world between hanging out, paying rent, chilling with the roommates, going on dates, and this vampire stuff, because these survivors from this plague need to organize again, and they need to get their political connections up and running and get the cops online and all this stuff. And Aiden, who's always been like, look, I don't want anything to do with that, is still towing that line. No, don't bother me, I don't want to have anything to do with that. Oh, but if you are going to do this, don't do it like this. We made that mistake in the 40s, that's a bad idea. Oh, and don't do this. Oh, and also, don't tweet anything. He's very specific about his opinions of how these new vampires are organizing. So, but it is sort of getting back a little bit to that crime family that we saw in season 1. And speaking of crime families and old stuff, we are definitely going to see certain characters that no audience member is going to be able to predict may surface, which is fun. Yeah.
But you can't share anymore.
No, not really. But I will say that I will be delighted to work with certain actors again.
Given that you're on 4 seasons here, but you're only just broadcasting in the UK, have you had any reaction from the UK about what people think of it? Considering there's a big history for being union?
It's interesting. I'm not entirely clear on how it's being received overall over there. I mean, I hear a lot of nice things online from British fans. Simon Pegg said to me, "Oh yeah, it seems like both sides of the pond are really okay with you remaking this beloved show." And and I'm like, "Well, Simon, it's news to me. I try not to pay attention to that stuff." Toby Whithouse wrote me a nice letter. That was cool. That was very encouraging. He said that he felt that we had maintained the heart of what he felt made his show work. And which was very humbling and encouraging. I mean, I can't express how grateful I was to receive that email. Because I'm a big fan of what they did. Huge fan, in fact.
Who wants to ask a question?
I guess if we could just talk a little bit about maybe the direction of Aiden morally. It seems like out of everybody, it seems like he has the biggest struggle with kind of battling that his dark side. So
yeah. I think we're going to settle that this year, once and for all. Oh, in a big way, yeah, absolutely. Which is fun because he has always teetered. And another thing that we do get to settle, which I'm very excited about, is in season 1 we introduced this question. Priest says this to Aiden: "If you're so miserable and you're afraid of hurting people, why haven't you ended it? You can die. Just take a piece of wood, boom." And he didn't have an answer for that. And he actually responded by beating the guy's teeth in. And it's something that's been on my mind for a long time. And we get to answer that definitively this year in a big way. In fact, I don't even get to answer it. We get to introduce the idea through Mark Pellegrino, who's always talked about how great it is to be a vampire, how perfect it is, how amazing it is. But there is one weakness that we haven't, revealed to the audience yet. One pretty big weakness. So we'll see how that goes. But it's something that I'd been suspecting for a long time. 'Cause you have to, as an actor, you have to have an answer to that question. How can you be so concerned about all these other people and be all dour about this and that without actually doing something about it? Because he knows that every year that he lives, he's going to kill 1 to 86 people. Last year it was 1. Good. Other years it's been 86. And so, so this season we discover what's at the heart of it. It's fun. A lot of fun.
Great. Thank you so much. Pleasure meeting you.